10 shocking retirement stats for 2024. Dare I say shocking. Okay, guys, how's everyone doing? Early in 2024, how's your plans doing? How's your money looking? Let me know. Leave me some comments. How you doing so far in 2024? I'm curious, very curious. I'm doing okay so far. But let's get to the 10, dare I say, shocking stats of 2024. Here you go. Here's number one. 40% of Americans are delaying their retirement because of inflation. Yeah, that's a big number. Now, yes, last couple of years, especially about 2 years ago, 1.5, inflation has been terrible, right? But 40% of Americans are delaying their retirement just because of inflation. That's a big number. I would have never thought it would be that high. I could see 10, maybe 15, but 40. Wow, that's a big one. Number two, 22% of working Americans are due to retire in 2024. 22%. That is a huge, dare I say, huge statistic. Think about that. Yes, I mean, the aging Americans are getting larger and larger, but that is a big percentage. 22%, I would have thought that'd be maybe more around 10 or so, just like the first stat. It's bumped way farther than I thought. Here's number three for you. 46% of people aged between 60 and 75 say they will work part-time in retirement. That's almost half. Now, as those of you who see my channel before, and hey, those of you looking at me for the first time, this is a channel for people on moderate income. If you think you might be interested in that, we have a large community and it's growing all the time. Think about subscribing. And if you like the video, please like it. And if you really like it, way down here, there's a link to buy me a coffee. So 46% of people aged between 60 and 75 think they will work part-time in retirement. As I've said numerous times in videos, this is the new retirement. It's not your parents, somewhat, or especially your grandparents' retirement. This is not where you get a pension and pretty much live the rest of your life off that pension, not doing much. There is nothing wrong with that. Let me say right now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But nowadays, especially with the options you have out there, with all the things that you can do, online work, part-time work, side hustles, whatever you want to call it, 46% of people between 60 and 75 believe they will be working part-time in retirement. So yes, for those of you naysayers, it is a new retirement now. There's your stat. Number four, 1 in 12 people believe that they will never retire. That's pretty sad when you think about it, isn't it? Unless that's what they want to do. A lot of people love to work. That's their identity. There are a lot of people out there who, type A personalities, they need something. Go, 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 structure, 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 all day long. If that's what you want to do and that makes you happy, I have no problem with that. But for those of you who want to retire, who have been saving for retirement, yeah, that's pretty sad. 1 in 12. All I got to say to that, guys, is just plan, plan, plan. The younger you are, it doesn't matter. The earlier, the better. Like I said before in many videos, I didn't start saving seriously until I was 40. 40. Yeah. I mean, I might have had $1,000, maybe $2,500, maybe $3,000 saved by 40, because what I would do, you're young. I wasn't making much money. So, everything went to rent. Everything went to, at the time, drinking, going out, chasing women. So, I wasn't putting any away until maybe like 35, 36, but then I would do it haphazardly. I'd contribute into my 401k for maybe a month or two and then say, I might have moved to a different place with higher rent. And I'm like, I don't have to worry about that stuff, man. I'm too young. So I would quit contributing. The dumbest thing I could have done. Dumbest. So I didn't really start till I was 40. Like I said, I might have had $2,500, in my savings by 40, but then I did it. So you can do it. You don't have to be those 112 that say they may never retire. Number 5, 32% of working Americans have zero retirement savings. 32%. Okay, obviously, the younger you are, the less chances you have of having retirement savings. Now, this percentage, a little bit higher than I thought. Okay, this is one that might not be so shocking. That might not just rock you off your feet. But still, 32% have no retirement savings. That's still a pretty big number, right? It is to me. Number 6, most people believe in 2024 that you will need at least $1.8 million to retire comfortably. That's a big no. For those of you who have always watched my channel, you know that's a big no. My whole channel is about retiring on $500,000 and doing it well. So there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet, on YouTube, financial advisors pushing this. Oh, well, John has $3.5 million and he'd like to retire at 65. Will he be able to? Well, yeah, he will. And he'll have plenty of money left over as long as he's not taking 5 trips to Europe every year. You don't need $1.8 million. Go back to my video. It said, I retired on $500,000. You can too. One of my very first videos. You don't need $1.8 million. That to me is a shocking statistic. Number 7, 12% of those currently retire expect to come out of retirement. Now that's a big percentage. That is something that really surprised me. Dare I say, shocked me. 12% of people in retirement expect to come out of retirement. What does that mean? That means they go back to full-time work. Now, again, if that's something you love, if you retire and you're sitting around going, yeah, man, this just isn't what it's cracked up to be. I want to go back to work. Fine. Whatever makes you happy. I have no problem with that. But if you are unhappy, if you're dreading going back to work, but that's like the best alternative you have, guys, explore the world, get hobbies. If you've got enough money on hand and the money is not the driving principle sending you back to work, think again. Give yourself a couple more months of trying things out, trying out different hobbies. Even if you want to do something part-time, do that before you go back to work. If you love full-time work, don't even listen to me. Don't listen to what I'm saying. But if you don't, give yourself a couple months with a new mindset. Try and do different things before you go back to work full-time if you don't want to. Number 8, 44% of retirees struggle with basic living expenses. Yeah, that's a sad statistic, isn't it? Struggle with basic living expenses, utilities, rent, mortgage, whatever it is, 44%. What is that? That's improper planning. Now, yes, there are some people that have, become disabled. There are people that had to retire for a different reason. Maybe they had a aging parent who needed their help 24/7. Those, I totally understand it. I get it. But for the others, you didn't plan as well as you should have. 44%, guys, that's a huge number. There I go again, huge. So, yeah, guys, just plan. Plan as early as possible so you don't have to be stuck in this 44% figure. Number 9, the average retirement savings. Again, this is the average, so that means that it is skewed up to those high earners. It is not the middle number. The middle number would be less than this. But the average savings in 2024 for retirees is $170,000. All right, that's about kind of what I thought it was. But guess what it was in 2022? $190,000. It's gone down $20,000 in 2 years. That is a shocking statistic. I could see a variance of maybe 5,000, 6, whatever, 7,500, but $20,000 in 2 years. The retirement savings has gone down. Yeah, that's shocking. Number 10, 30% of retirees retire Of course they're retired. They're a retiree. 30% rely on Social Security as their only source of income. That's it. Social Security is it. Again, okay, that's one of two that maybe is not that shocking. It does make you sit up and go, wow. But 30%, that's a big number. That's a big number, guys, especially with all the things, all the opportunities out there, all the options for you to work part-time or a side hustle, that cool phrase. It doesn't have to be your sole source of earnings. Bring in $300 a month doing something. Bring in $250, $500, whatever it is. Just think of something that you can do to bring in additional income, you know? And if you don't find something in the first 2-3 months, I remember when I was looking for a part-time work before I stumbled on YouTube, no one was getting back to me when I sent out resumes, but I kept going. I didn't let that stop me. So don't get discouraged after like, oh, I've been sending out resumes for part-time work, whatever, for a month and no one's got back to me. Ageism is alive and well. Be persistent. Don't be in that 30% that rely strictly on Social Security. All right, there you have it. And guys, remember, we as always, if we plan, if we're consistent, if we don't go crazy and say the market is tanking and we're taking everything to put the money in the mattress, if we don't do all those things, if we just calm down and plan, we got this.